Honestly, you guys, this game, the lack of concentration, the lack of passion, the lack of fight, the lack of diligence, the lack of ability, the lack of courage, the lack of everything you want to insert. Anything you want to insert, be displayed every negative today. And today, yeah, massive failure on Frank Lampard and a massive failure on the players too. I'm going for both sides today, you guys. I'm not going to focus on one because this was terrible. And to start with, I'm going to address Frank Lampard first because my thinking straight after the game, as I was watching the game, before the game, was last season we beat them 2-1. Pulisic masterclass, deserve that. And today I look at the game plan and I'm thinking, what was the game plan? Because I saw a Man City team that after those first 10 minutes, the moment Kevin De Bruyne was activated, the same Kevin De Bruyne that this stupid club let go of, had no belief in, didn't even give him game time. The best player in the league for how many seasons? I mean, even the failure on that part to not even acknowledge the greatness we had already. This guy at false nine today, absolute masterclass, destroyed our midfield. I haven't seen one player just single-handedly just completely destroy and nullify a manager's tactics and the team as well in one go like that. And it was easy for De Bruyne. He was hovering between the lines in front of our defence. Our defenders couldn't engage. Every single time a Man City player moved deeper, De Bruyne would move in front of Kante and I'll talk about him later. Honestly, this was the Kevin De Bruyne show. He absolutely embarrassed us today. And my thing is this. Why did we allow Man City to play between the lines? Why? Last season when we beat them 2-1, we weren't playing like that. We were compact. We were congested. We timed our counter-attacks very well. Why wasn't this done today? Absolutely baffled, and the only one explanation I can give to Lampard is that he is thinking, listen, with these players we have right now, with this high-level style of football I'm trying to coach into the team, I can't afford to end that tactical momentum by us playing a different way because it's going to make it harder for the first team players to really find their groove and play the system how Lampard wants. Now, I do get that from a manager point of view, but at the same time, Frank, if you're playing a system that's going to involve spaces open up between our lines, spaces in behind our fullbacks, you need to know damn well sure that the players are on point and they're ready to play this way, because when you play a high level football like this, you've got nowhere to hide. You've got nowhere to hide because every single player has to do their part to make it happen. I mean, look at Man City today. The absolute personification of what I'm saying right now. Their players weren't giving away stupid passes. They weren't overhitting things. They weren't messing up their build-up. They weren't taking years to take shots on goal when they were through on goal. Everything was quick, measured, fast, boom, boom, boom. And I respect that to be a team like that. It's going to take time. And you guys, I've got to tell you this straight. I still believe in this way because I'm sorry, I don't want us to be a team again that is playing 30% possession, parking the bus, sitting deep, trying to win games on the counter-attack. I've been doing that for too many years. I want to enjoy my football too. I don't want us to be a team that can only win playing this way. So I feel like this is why I've got patience behind what's happening right now, the methodology behind getting the team to be at that level. And I do understand that that's not going to take time, but that don't take away from the fact that, you know, you're forcing this style when the guys right now with their form, fitness, fatigue, etc, 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 clearly weren't able to maintain the intensity to compete against Man City. So today was about parking the bus a little bit, sitting deeper, picking the moments, picking the battles. That's what it's about. We made this easy for Man City, who played us off the park absolutely. And this is where my criticism for Lampard ends today, because for me, massive culprit behind why we were so useless today. I just think the approach from the start, which I thought was going to be counter-attack. When I saw Werner, Ziyech and Pulisic up front, I was remembering our game last season against them. I thought, okay, that's going to be the vibe. We're going to be compact, congested, against a Man City team that's suffering themselves. Let's see what happens. But this naivety sometimes, you know, I need to see an improvement in this. It's this thing of Lampard sometimes forcing things. That doesn't surprise me why that energy would feed off onto the players. You know why we lost the game today, yeah? Was because after going 1-0 down against the run of play, all tactics, all sense, all smarts, it went out the window. And why was that? Because players decided we have to get back in the game as fast as possible. We have to throw ourselves up there in numbers. We have to force the play, make it happen. Blah, blah, blah. Stupid football. Stupid football. Immature kiddie football. That third goal, seeing that shambolic, the worst goal conceded this season by a country mile. Imagine that 2-0 down, the entire team thought halfway through the first half to throw every man forwards, and then what happens again and again and again and again? We see a counter-attack from us losing a set piece and we concede a goal. Honestly, this is some kiddie stuff. This is very immature. How many times does it need to happen? How many times do some of these guys need to understand what game management means? It's stupid to force it, because when you do that in times like this, we're out the game. We were out the game in like, what? We were 3-0 down in the space of like, what, 10, 20 minutes? We lost the game. And how many times do we lose games? And how many times do we lose games in moments? We're not the type of team where we're losing the game right at the end. You know, we're the type of team where we'll be crap for 30 minutes. We've conceded 2 goals in that period, and then we ain't getting back in the game. And for me, it's a combination of Lampard and the players for sometimes not being that good enough. Seeing this game today, like, everything hit me. All the frustrations I have with us, all the poor pieces of play can be boiled down to the immaturity this team has. Now, try and deep what I'm saying about immaturity. How many times have we seen players through on goal not taking first time shots, overplaying? Are we playing goals? Are we in 5-a-side right now? You know, how often do you even get moments like that on goal? You're against Stefan. You know, he made a mistake right at the start of the game. You're not testing him. You're not taking no shots. And it's not only that moment. There's so many examples of poor play. Cover, absolute passage in today. Terrible. I'm saying my point about him. I absolutely love him stylistically wise. I love his aesthetics. He's fun to watch, but when it comes to substance on the field, he ain't going to bring that. He doesn't bring that. It's like, you know, when he's playing in that forwards midfield role, he ain't going to get no assists. He ain't going to score no goals. What is he there to do other than bring vibes and look good on the field? I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, terrible from him. He didn't help Kante, but at the same time, Kante, well, probably the worst game I've seen from him. I can't just be harsh on someone like Kante, not when he's one of the most consistent players in the world. I think I saw a pretty impressive stat. I think this is like Kante's 6th or 7th game. I think this is Kante's 6th game in like 22 days. So this guy is done. I mean, this guy is tired. You know what I mean? He's been playing consistently, and I don't blame him for having a terrible game today. It's not like him. That's not his standards. I'm forgiven for this, and we move. But other players that I can't forgive today, you know, and I have to say it, but I think Christian Pulisic today was very, very poor. I think the worst performance I've ever seen from him. I know that Neville and the guys on TV were, you know, praising him for trying to do things and trying to make things happen and trying to bring it to the game, trying, blah, blah, blah. But when I was hearing them talk, straight away I was thinking, this is the issue here. We focus too much on what people do on the ball, and we don't look at the substance behind how they use it. And today, there was absolutely zero substance from anything Pulisic did. Every single time, overrunning the ball, overstepping the ball, doing the most all the time. Anytime there's a bit of space to play 1-2s, play a bit smart, head down, run, I'm going to play for myself. And it's this non-stop greediness that I was seeing throughout so many players today on the ball. Greedy, immature. We look like kids against Man City today, you guys. Absolute kids, because we make some stupid, childish decisions on the field non-stop. Now, this is some of my critique behind the players. I actually have to bring things back down to Frank Lampard right now, because I think in a game like this, you know, knowing how, you know, this team is a bit immature. I don't think we're amazing at creating the opportunities that other teams like Man City and Liverpool can do because of the, I just think, poor individual moments that a lot of our players are prone to doing. You have to help these guys out. and use the players in the team that do so. I think Giroud, Tammy Abraham. The importance of these strikers is that they press from the front. And tactically today, I think I'm going to do a separate video talking about tactics, because I'm not trying to just dilute this video, because tactically, it was very easy for Man City to receive the ball from one of our mistakes, either giving the ball away or just being absolutely sloppy. And in about 5 or 6 passes, they are through on our goal, testing Mendy. You understand that if you're creating an attack against us in like 3, 4, 5 passes, there's something criminally wrong happening with the tactics and with the team. I think it's that simple. I think the only positive I can really mention today is Callum Hudson-Odoi. And for me, he's not going to be not playing over Ziyech. I think Ziyech was another positive. Did nothing wrong today. Nothing wrong today. He's a class player. But I'm looking at players like Werner, I'm looking at Pulisic, and they haven't played that well for a while. I think it's time for Hudson-Odoi now. He's proven it. This entire month, he has proven it in the games, the minutes he's come on. He makes things happen. He does the right things on the ball. He does the right things off the ball as well. He's ready for a first team spot. With him getting that goal right at the end, Lampard, you have to start him over Pulisic. It's that simple. He has to be started over him up front. If Werner, he still needs time. I'm sorry to see the Giroud or Tammy Abraham, because you know these guys, they bust their gut. They run. They hold off defenders. They create problems for teams. And the amount of disrespect that someone like Tammy gets, for example, for me, just sums up how I feel fans see the game these days. You know, it's always aesthetics over substance. Vibes, vibes, vibes. You know, as long as it looks good, that's all that matters, because then your tweet's going to bang. But when you keep seeing the game only like that, you're missing out on all the crucial details behind how you actually win games of football. And players like Tammy with their work rate off the ball are very important in bringing that success. So Lampard has to go back to that drawing board, make some big changes right now. Stop forcing things to happen. I think that is the issue with Lampard. And I think a positive start would be to use the right players. I think so. For the people on the timeline that's been wanting to see Pulisic, Werner and Ziyech for so long, I hope you learned a bit of a lesson today behind there's more to football than aesthetics. You need guys that are going to do the dirty work, that's going to allow other players to play better, because sometimes you get games like this where there's zero cohesion, greedy players, no link up, no nothing. And sometimes that's what can happen when you only focus on playing your best players over the players that are best for the team. And you guys, on that note, after a shambolic, disgraceful night of football, I'm going to have to wrap things up, keep things moving, and I'm going to have to watch this stupid game again. So I can do some content for tomorrow. So wish me luck, and I'll see you guys later.